So it seems like forever since I've been here. I don't think it's been that long, but I feel like I've missed a lot. And we were on a string of talking about wonder and having beautiful summer experiences of wonder. And we're going to do a little turn tonight. And we're going to talk or begin to talk about a section of the book, A Year to Live, in which he guides us into a life review. And we're going to enter into that really gently tonight, and not use his method. But it is important that as we think about a year to live, that we look at our life, not only the life that is past, and see the things in the life that is past that may need love, that may need forgiveness, that may need healing, but that we also look forward to the life that we have to live and decide intentionally what else it is that we really want to have in that life. And to not do that in a mental sort of way, but really let it be a soul guided practice. Usually, when we do it that way, it's surprising to us like, oh, that's something that I didn't even realize that I was missing or needing in my life. So, we're going to be doing these over a period of time, this life review. And the way we're going to begin it tonight is that I'm going to play a poem with some music behind it. And in this poem, our life, the imagery is of a garden. And if we think about seasons, people were talking earlier about fall. And so the seasons of our lives, the seasons that are full of growth and bounty, the seasons that are maybe cold and feel like loss, the leaves falling. And we want to include all of these things in our meditation, in our heart and soul, to allow everything to arise, not only the things that are beautiful and blooming, but also the things, just like any gardener would do, attend to the parts of the garden that need our attention. So I'm going to begin to play this now. Janet, I'll ask you to give me a thumbs up if you're hearing it okay. And so just go with all the imagery of this poem and feel your own garden.
Let my gardens speak for me when I am gone. Let them speak in colored whispers of all the beauty I have seen and felt and lived. Let them speak of how much death had defined me, how many hard seasons it took to make me a living, breathing thing. Let them speak of my seasons of growth and abundance, but let them also tell of my seasons of loss and decay. Let the soft, wet earth be a reminder of hardness that didn't win, of sadness that didn't calcify, of surrender that triumphed over resistance. And let the glorious, fragrant blooms speak of my life and its greatest lesson, that the beauty we make never dies. Come sit by my garden.
So that is our invitation tonight, is to sit by our own gardens. And let's start with looking at our life and feeling the things that we deeply rejoice in. So you imagine that maybe you have a very successful rose bush in your garden. I'm trying to think of the analogy for Alaska. Maybe your very heavily laden raspberries up here. Something about your life that has seemed to taken off and grown and been very abundant and successful. And then maybe looking around the garden a little bit more, seeing another place where you feel happiness, joy, gratitude for that part of your life. And just for a few minutes, continuing to look around. Might be helpful to keep visualizing flowers and then identifying that with a part of your experience of your life. Might be helpful just to recall your life and let one thing after another arise that you can experience. And just see how your heart responds to the memory. Try not to think of it as a good thing, a bad thing, something that needs to be fixed or changed, but just noticing these parts of your life. And as any good gardener does, we always look for the places in the garden that need tending. And in our own selves, we're looking for the places that still need love, that still need healing. So let's just spend a minute or so looking into our life. Let our heart feel and be drawn to the place that needs tending. And can we approach that part of our life with tender care? Not wishing that it wasn't there, or trying to do better, angry it's still here, but just approaching it tenderly. Poem talks about hard ground and moist, soft soil. And we know in which one of those places things grow best. So, our hope, our desire is that we remain moist, soft, open, so that what needs to be healed can be healed, and what wants to bloom will bloom. It will grow, it will flourish in the life we live. The one way we stay open, tender, moist is the practice of surrendered presence, in which we stay present to what is here, and then we let ourselves relax, let go, and rest into love. And it is in that space that healing can happen, that love can enter in. So I invite you to practice surrendered presence with me now, as we affirm the presence of love here. We are all surrounded by air right now. And I just invite you to imagine that every air molecule, also in whatever space that is, love is also taking up that space. That you are in love, just like you're in air. You don't have to create it. Nobody, no human being has to create this love for you. It is simply here and available. And we receive it just like we breathe in air. That's what we believe, and that's what makes the healing possible in the practice of surrendered presence. So I invite you now to simply drop down into your own experience and to notice whatever it is that is happening in your being now. That includes your senses, your thoughts, your feelings. For this part of our practice, we just give our full attention to what is happening in our being. And we do it without judgment. We notice it, and then we name it silently to ourselves. This can be as simple as my noticing the clock ticking in the background. Once we name it, we move on to our next experience and name it. This is our very first step into presence. When we can name anything at all that we're experiencing, we know that we are in this moment, which is our goal. And we deepen that experience by turning to the body and fully experiencing the body by giving each part our attention, beginning with our feet. And we simply notice whatever we can about our feet. And our ankles. And we notice our lower legs, our knees, our thighs. We notice our hips, and our pelvis. Noticing our belly. Noticing all those organs that are contained within our belly. Noticing our chest. Noticing our beating heart. We notice our shoulders, our arms, and our hands. We notice our back beginning all the way down at the tailbone and following the spine up. We include all the muscles, all the bones of the rib cage, experiencing all of our back up through the scapula and the neck. Noticing our scalp and our face. And then noticing yourself, your physical self as a whole. One whole physical self here now. This is your physical presence. This is your body here now. Knowing what it feels like means you can return to it to ground you. So we remain grounded in our body now as we turn our attention to our inner experiences, and we begin with our heart. Our heart is our feeling organ, our emotional center. So we take this moment to just gently listen to our heart. We get to know it, what it's feeling, what it's experiencing. And seeing if we can welcome all feelings of the heart. And then we turn to our spirit. This is the part of our being that is our aliveness. It's the thing that flows and vibrates. It's our energy in the world. So see if you can sense your own spirit. And then lastly, we notice our mind. We notice the mind's thoughts and we notice the space between thoughts. And you might notice that as you've given your full attention to other parts of your being, the mind begins to quiet, or at least feels like there's more room in there. See what you notice about your mind now. And now noticing all these parts of our being at once: your body, your heart, your spirit, and your mind. All here now. This is what it is to be present. And in this full presence of your being, begin to notice or imagine that your feet are being drawn into the earth and they're being held there by the force of gravity. This means that the earth is holding us here. So seeing if we can allow ourselves to be held by the earth. We live our lives believing that we have to hold ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We forget that we are held. There's no denying this. We don't float off. So as we shift into that reality that we are held, begin to let your body relax into that. Let the muscles go, the tension go. Let yourself be held. And recalling the presence of love, allowing love to hold us to. Staying with your presence, allowing, holding. Begin to notice your breath as it naturally flows in and out again. Feel how your body is so naturally receiving and letting go. This is the natural flow of all things. That is the cycle of growth and decay and life and death and receiving and letting go. And if we resist the cycle, we stop the flow of love and healing and transformation. We cannot receive if we don't let go. So with each out breath, just practice surrender. Each out breath carries you in to surrender. And following that breath all the way out now, let it carry you into a place of completely letting go. Letting go of thoughts, letting go of the sound of my voice, letting go of instructions. You just come to a place of deep letting go, coming to rest in a space of simple being, simply being in love. If your mind begins to wander, return to your breath. Return to the sense of holding. Whatever it is that brings you back to this moment. And return to surrender and simple being. And now bring your garden into this space. Allowing love love, allowing healing, all the things that are needed to allow the garden to fully bloom, to be fully alive, to simply be you. Thank you so much for practicing with me and supporting my own practice. Love you all.